Hi, it's MarVeena Meek, and today we're going to talk about the Feast of the Dead. So originally, this was a custom that was started by the Celts a long time ago, and it was they always celebrated the new year on November 1st. So they were coming up to the end of their old year and the beginning of the new year, and this was the harvest season. So they just completed their harvest, and they were bringing in all of the bounty from the land, and they were trying to prepare themselves mentally and physically and spiritually for being able to get through the winter. And there was a lot of worry about this because back then it's like if you didn't have a good harvest, then you may not make it through the winter. So there was a lot of worry. And so one of the reasons, there was twofold in creating a Feast of the Dead, is a way to honor the family loved ones that had passed over the last year, and to sort of ask their favor that they would do what they can in the spirit world to help them make it through the winter. And so I think of it as kind of like a bribe to begin with. It's like, hey, I'll feed you some apple pie that you really loved while you're here if you will try to put in a good word with the spirit world, with us, and help us out how you can. And sometimes they were just afraid too that that spirit would come back and haunt them if they hadn't been properly recognized. So there was, a handful of reasons about why they would have the Feast of the Dead, and they would create elaborate feasts as offerings also for the gods and the goddesses, as a way to give back some of their bounty, in hopes that the gods and the goddesses would continue to provide for them over the winter and then in the upcoming new year. So I like to create my Feast of the Dead, and I think about the different ancestors that were particularly meaningful to me, and taught me a lot, and really impacted my life in a good way. And I think about the different things that they liked to eat while they were here. So we like to have a lemon a coconut or a coconut cake for my husband's mother, and I use her recipe to bake it. I like to have different things that my granddad loved goat's milk, so I bake some of my recipes for the feast with goat's milk. I don't like to drink it myself, but I'll use it in some of the recipes. And that was one thing he was really big about, so I like to have that as a remembrance to him. And then I just try to remember different things that my different grandparents and different loved ones, things that they liked to eat while they were here, liked to drink, and set a table, set up a feast. And you can put maybe different small pictures of them on the table with tea candles, and decorate your table with things that are symbolic of the season, like the pumpkins and squash. Marigolds are really popular to decorate the table with, and apples. Apples are something that they go back a long ways into the Roman days. The Romans worshiped the goddess Pomona, and apples were sacred to Pomona. So that's one of the reasons that we use a lot of apples in our Thanksgiving and our Halloween dishes, and how we got the custom of bobbing for apples. So you want to have some fresh, beautiful apples on your Feast of the Dead table. But this is a time to symbolically, if not physically, set a place for your ancestors at your dinner table. And traditionally, the oldest person at the table would say a blessing for the food and for all of the animals and the spirits that gave up their life for us to celebrate, honor the lives of all of the plants as well, and the fruits and vegetables, and just to maybe say a blessing to the memory of the ancestors that have crossed over in the past year and in the past, that have made a big impact on us. And you want to have all of your family at the table when you do this, and this teaches them the tradition of honoring their ancestors. So I hope that you've enjoyed my video article today on the Feast of the Dead and creating an ancestor feast. And if you have questions, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.